Hi, I'm Mr. Simons, and in this video we're going to continue looking at methods of protection, and what we're going to focus on local content rules and export incentives. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's start on the local content side. So we're going to look at local content rules first. So local content rules specify that goods must contain a minimum percentage of locally made components. Now it sounds a bit confusing, but we can really break this down. So let's use this example. We've got a submarine that is being made in Australia by a foreign company. CO dot just being abbreviation for company. So if we've got a submarine being made in Australia, what the government says is that you must use locally made stuff, so Australian made stuff. So the government says that this foreign company must use Australian workers and Australian raw materials, must use these locally made components. So what it's doing is it's kind of creating a demand for locally made labor and local made resources. So it's kind of restricting the use of foreign labor and foreign resources as a means of protection. So it restricts the use of imported labor and resources. So in that way, local content rules is a form of protection. Now let's move over to the other one here. So our other form of protection is export incentives. And what happens here is that the government offers domestic producers assistance to help them access global markets and sell more exports. So in terms of assistance, right? Okay, so if we look at export incentives, so we're talking about this government assistance to domestic producers. And this assistance could be financial. So the government gives domestic producers subsidies. And remember, there's another video there that looks at this as a method of protection. Why did I say remember? You may not have seen it, so there's nothing to remember. The government could also give loans to domestic producers to help them access export markets. The other thing the government could do with export incentives is give out expert advice coming from government departments and other professionals. And the idea is that governments could help companies sort out some marketing and maybe some legal issues in trying to access other markets. Now you might think that giving domestic producers a little bit of money, a little bit of knowledge, maybe a little bit of a loan to help them compete overseas would be a good thing and maybe a helpful thing for trade overall. But the thing to remember is that export incentives are still an artificial barrier to trade. They're still giving domestic producers a little bit of extra assistance that other producers in other countries may not have. So for these reasons, it still is a form of protection and may not be welcomed by some other economies. So those foreign producers may not get the same level of support. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of what I am trying to do on this channel, please hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, maybe a comment on what other videos you're interested in seeing. And as always, thanks for watching.